Welcome back to our April Mystery Block of the Month, and we are introducing another thing that we love. It is sunshine. So our quilt block represents a sun.
We love the sunshine, and of course we introduced a new color, yellow, which will add to our stash of fat quarters that we'll be using.
And I love that there's this pop of pink pinwheel inside this block. So Gina's gonna tell us how to create this block.
All right, so our sunshine block is a free downloadable pattern, and to begin with, we've pre-cut everything. You'll want to cut 4 squares that are 3.5 by 3.5 of your white and label that A. You'll cut 1 square that is 7.25 by 7.25 and you'll label that B. And we'll have Cindy, while I show the next measurements, she will cut the 7.25 square twice diagonally, and then C is 4 of the polka dot at 3 7/8 and 2 of the gingham at 3 7/8. And then we have 1 of each of the D, the small pink polka dot and the yellow pink polka dot, and these are each at 4.25 by 4.25.
I can cut that. And if you want to cut this other section, these. I'll see if I can cut them all at once.
Yeah, make sure they're lined up really good. And
they're just cut once, right?
Just once. On these two, on the D, I'll let you cut this one, and I'll cut this one. We're cutting diagonally twice. So once these are cut, we're going to assemble the center section. The first part will begin right here with your pink dot and your yellow dot. So you are going to take your D's, and you'll want to make sure, yes, you can chain piece, but we're going to make sure that we have it like so, so that I double check that those are going to be sewn just like this. So if we line up all of these the same way, and all of these the same way, and then we make sure that we sew with right sides together right down that seam.
Okay.
All right.
We've got it chain pieced. We're going to hurry and cut it.
I will press these, and while I'm pressing these, we're going to get our C, and we're going to line up our C and place it against the pink. All right, so here we have this little section, and we're creating our pinwheel right here. So you're going to put all of these, so this section to your gingham.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it. All right, chain piece.
Now we've got our 4 sections, and I'll press those, and then we'll place those together. I like to press towards the gingham because there's less seams.
And then we're going to sew this section together, and then we're going to just add our outside.
All right, so here we have our sections. We'll just lay them out so they make sure you have your little pink pinwheel showing there.
Do we need to square these up at this point?
No, they should be correct.
They should be good to go.
They should be good to go.
Right there. Okay, we got our pinwheel. Do you just like to flip?
Yes. Now, one of the things, whenever sewing across this triangle, we want to make sure we have a 1/4 inch. So make sure that on this corner, you're taking a good 1/4 inch down here and a 1/4 inch down there, so that we have plenty of room to show our points.
Again, a reminder to always have a 1/4 inch seam anytime you're quilting.
So we'll sew these 2 blocks together, and then we'll also sew the 2 rows together and create this whole center block, and then we'll come back and do our outside points for our stars.
Okay.
All right, so before we sew the rows together, Cindy's sewing the 2 blocks. You'll notice she's left a nice 1/4 inch here in the center, so that when we take that through, we'll have a point.
And we just want to make sure to nestle our seams so they're right on point.
Again, one seam going one way and one seam going the other way. And then when I sew, I like to go a hair shy of this. See where your point is sewn up here, and then it goes down here, a hair shy of that, and that'll
to
create
get this nice center section.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
That makes
Very
a nice
good.
pinwheel.
It does. And you know what? Cindy's done a great job of being able to showcase those points right there in the center. All right, I'll take this and press this. While I'm pressing, Cindy's going to take the B section, which is right here, and she's going to take these yellows, and she's going to sew this long edge. Now, a very important thing when sewing triangles, I always like to line up my long edge right here.
So you're going to do right sides together.
And you want to have
up.
a nice 1/4 inch hangover on the end. That way you'll be sure and have that 1/4 inch to get your point in like we talked about.
So just like that.
Okay.
Okay. I'll take
All right.
4 of these and take it to the machine and sew.
All right, now that Cindy's got this all sewn, I'm going to press, and then you'll be ready to sew your other side.
We'll just add the other triangle to the other side, one at a time.
All right, so here we have this section. So again, line up this edge, have that point hanging over here.
the edge, so when we flip it.
Then you have a nice 1/4 inch at the top.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we chain
right.
piece this so we can hurry and cut our edges. You press,
And I'll press these.
and we can get our section A, right?
Yes, and let's put our squares on there on the corners. And then you're going to have these flying geese that will set in and look like the star points on there. All right, so here we have our flying geese sections that we're going to place in here.
Or our sun rays.
Yes, because it's our sunshine block. All right, so we're going to sew square to the flying geese section.
You can flip
Now
these
you'll
over.
notice Cindy's got a really nice 1/4 inch right here, and she's going to have to match to this 1/4 inch, and you want to make sure that this pink point shows. So that's the trickiest part on this block, is getting that
and you
point
don't
there.
want to cut your point off.
Right.
Sometimes you might
So
have to
again,
go a hair less.
Yep, a
like
hair less. Just sew a hair less right there and you'll get nice points. And then we'll
Alright.
sew this one.
I think I'm going to even pin my point right there.
I think that's
so
a
it's
great idea.
right on. I don't have to. I can know that it's not going to move.
Okay. And then this one
A little tricky.
to this one.
And we'll do
And
it
then
in
you have-
order. We're going to sew it.
There you go. All right, we've got the first 2 blocks sewn together in the 3 sections. And now we're going to take and we're going to sew our 3rd one. And you'll notice that this part is the tricky part right here, trying to get that matched. And you want to match that just exactly.
Exactly.
Right
on
there.
That there.
Yep.
I'll pin it high.
Yep.
I'll just get that.
And then we will sew this and come back and we'll be ready to show the completion of the block. All right, we have our 3 rows ready to sew together. So again,
we're ready to flip down,
yes,
and we'll nestle our seams.
and match our point in the center here. And then we will go and we'll sew this. All right, so we've sewn, we've pressed, and we have squared up our block to 12.5 inches by 12.5 inches.
And our sunshine looks beautiful, and April is usually the month of showers, but we hope you have a little sun in your area. But if not, make our sunshine block of the month.